The best diet is a high fiber Mediterranean diet. No, the best diet is a vegan diet. You're both wrong. The best diet is clearly a carnivore diet. How could you not like veggies? They're so good. Me eat meat. As crazy as I looked, I know it makes us all that crazy to hear about all the different types of dieting advice that's out there. You should eat this, but not that. You may think you know what the best diet is, but you have no idea. That is until you try an elimination diet. Before we begin, let me know below, which of your favorite foods did you used to be able to eat, and now that when you eat them, they cause you a little bit of stomach pain? And if you're finding value, go ahead and like and subscribe. Fact. There is no best diet. The truth is we're all different and we all have our different dietary needs to cater to. This is based off genetic and environmental factors. There is, however, a way to identify the foods that you should avoid. The elimination diet is the best way to find out which foods you should avoid to avoid gut health problems. No tricks, no gimmicks, no pills. An elimination diet is a short-term diet that helps identify foods your body can't tolerate well and removes them from your diet, eliminating all difficult to digest or inflammatory foods. Important thing to note is that an elimination diet should be short-term because it doesn't supply all your nutritional needs. On my journey to better gut health, I was having a difficult time identifying what was real and what wasn't. Diet A suggested low FODMAP, Diet B suggested high fiber, Diet C suggested fruits and veggies. Identifying the right diet was driving me crazy. As a part of the elimination diet, I reluctantly narrowed down my diet to 3 foods: some baked chicken seasoned with a little bit of salt, white rice, and zucchini. Those are just the 3 foods that I identified that I could handle well even during an extreme flare. They did not leave me bloating, in pain, or having to run to the restroom. Everything outside of these foods was kind of up in the air. After a 2-day bone broth fast and 3 days of eating like a monk, I began incorporating food sources one by one. It was extremely clear almost immediately upon consumption what was causing gastric upset. I found a very helpful thing on WebMD about what an elimination diet is. Elimination diet is a meal plan that avoids and removes certain foods and ingredients so that you can find out what you might be sensitive to or allergic to. Another interesting note is that you cannot be allergic to something, but it can definitely cause you gastric upset. For example, gluten. Elimination diet has 2 parts: the elimination, avoidance phase, and the reintroduction. Some foods to consider avoiding while on an elimination diet are going to be citrus foods, milk, eggs, wheat, and gluten, including rye, barley, and malt, shellfish, and soy, as well as some food additives. So anything with an amine, histamines, artificial sweetener, lactose, sulfites, sulfates, nitrites, nitrates. Even on this website, it says the strictest type of elimination diet, you can only eat these foods. Apples or apple juice, I'll tell you right now, apple juice is a no-go. I'm here on healthline.com, how to do an elimination diet and why. It's a very valuable article. I like this a lot. If you want to find out more about elimination diets, you can go ahead and visit here. The elimination phase involves removing foods you suspect trigger your symptoms for a short period of time, typically through 2 to 3 weeks. Some of the foods are going to include nuts, corn, soy, dairy, citrus fruits, nightshade vegetables, wheat, including gluten, pork, eggs, shellfish. As you slowly add foods, typically it's going to be like 1 to 3 days where you add 1 more food into your diet and no changes. You want to look for symptoms such as rashes or skin changes, joint pain, headaches or migraines, fatigue, difficulty sleeping, changes in breathing, bloating, stomach cramps, or changes in bowel habits. What you definitely do not want to eat while on an elimination diet are going to be citrus fruits, nightshade vegetables, nuts and seeds, legumes, starchy foods, gluten, wheat, barley, rye, a lot of fats. You want to avoid a high fat diet. You want to avoid coffee, black tea, a lot of high caffeinated foods, alcohol, spices and condiments, sugar, and sweets. So now you see why I ate just chicken, rice, and sauteed zucchini for like a whole 2 weeks, just because a lot of that stuff, like what else can you eat that's not on that list, you know? Elimination diets definitely suck, but just remember it's for a short amount of time and you're going to become very clear on what is causing you some gastric upset.